Okay guys, before I hang my stands, you can see this one here is camo. I like to just give it a shot of some camouflage paint. It's June, I'm not worried about the smell. I'm gonna focus on the underside right now because the deer are looking up obviously, and then I'll probably get the rest of it, but we'll start with the underside. And so I don't have any particular pattern or rhyme or reason. I just use 3 different colors and just go through and kind of paint parts of them like this. It doesn't really matter because you're going to come back. Now if you have black, you can leave that there for some black. Okay, now they're done. See, I did the underside of both stands. That's your seat. You want to make sure you don't forget that. I even did this cloth seat, but doesn't have to be a lot. Just breaks up your outline a little bit. So I'll get those up today. Should also mention I replaced the cables on one of these. You want to check your cables. I actually had a cable break 2 years ago when my daughter stepped up on it, and I checked the other cables. This one I just checked. That one I replaced over there. The straps that go around, this one I'm gonna have to get a ratchet strap for. A lot of times I leave them up too far and have to cut them out. So make sure you check your connections so you're safe as well before you put them up. Okay, let me show you my first setup. This is a spot that I hunted last year, and it's a spot where big bucks tend to come out to my food plot. You can kind of see that daylight behind me. That's part of my plot. They come out of the woods behind me. So this year I'm in here early. That was my goal. It's like June 21st or something. I'm in here early. I'm getting my stands up. I'm trying to divert their traffic a little bit, piling some brush in between trees so they take my trail. Mock scrape, got a camera. So let me turn around and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, the deer come from this direction, and this is the edge of my property line. So I had my eye on this oak tree since last year, but it needed some work. You can see there's a trail running this way too, and then a trail coming in. So I put a stand up in that tree. The only problem, I might be a little backlit. See, it's at the top, but the thing is, I do have a lot of cover because they're going to be coming in from here, and I have all those branches in front of my stand. And by the time they're standing here, I should be drawn back. And if I'm going to shoot, I'm going to shoot. So again, there's that trail. And you can see this trail running into the woods. And then it splits and goes into my food plot. Another thing I did, I made a scrape, mock scrape. There's a bunch of roots. It's kind of wet here. Made that using a vine. So I just hung that on an overhead tree, so it's right near the intersection of both trails. And then to see what's coming in, keep tabs on everything, I hung a trail camera on that tree. No, you can't see it because I put them up higher. So I put it up there to protect against theft. I put a couple tree steps in, hung it, and then took the tree steps out and then just angled it down, and hopefully that's also out of the deer's view a little more. So that is setup number 1, and I think this may be my best setup for the year. All right, here's setup number 2. I'm at the far end of my food plot. You can see where that's tilled. That's going to be my HD screen. That'll get 8 to 12 feet tall, and it wraps around here. I pushed everything this way this year to shrink down my plot, because when I have a wind blowing this direction, I want the deer on that side of me. So down here, I pinch it down in, so they just have a narrow gap of this at this end of the food plot, and usually they either go in down there by the apple tree or somewhere over here. Again, they can come out anywhere along there and come towards me, and I'm hoping they make it to this end because I have a stand in this large maple tree, not high, but I'm in the meat of the tree. It's 4 trees, has a hollow center, and you should be able to see the tree stand base sticking out there. I'll move move slowly around here, you can see. And you can see I have that tree behind me for cover, so I should be pretty hidden in there. So that's setup number 2. So the next project is spraying this clover you can see behind me. On a previous video I showed you what it looked like after I mowed it. I have that, and then my main food plot and everything is back behind me, back behind the tractor against that tree line. I have to spray my food plot too. So I'm just going to be putting some clethodim on this part, and in my food plot I'm going to spray clethodim and then also a broadleaf killer that will not kill the clover. I'll show you the setup I'm using. My sprayer is a workhorse sprayer. It's designed for an ATV, and in the Q&A it said it wouldn't work for a side-by-side. It does. What I do is put those 2x6s in there to keep my gate from pivoting when it goes over bumps, so they go from the bed into there, and then I just put that sprayer on there. It's a boom sprayer. It reaches out to about 30 feet, although sometimes I just use one side, sometimes I use the other, and then you can adjust the spread based on how much pressure you let it have, but it works pretty good. Usually I put it on an external battery. This one's dead, so I am just running it right to my battery up under the seat. But overall I've had this sprayer for about 3 years, and it's worked great so far, so hopefully I keep having good luck with it. Okay guys, this whole video is taking place over many days. Right now, again, it's like 90 some degrees. We've had 3 hot days, and then we have 7 days of rain in the forecast. So I'm just went to work, went to the gym, I stopped here, I want to get home, but I gotta get my screen planted, and so I'm gonna do that tonight. My tractor's home. I'm gonna use my side-by-side there, and I'm gonna use my Kolpin 3-point hitch and attachment, so I'll show you how that works. I have some old videos about that. I'm gonna throw that on there. It's already rototilled, so I'm gonna go back. I rototilled it maybe 3 weeks ago. I'm gonna put the disc on and just rough it up. I'm gonna put my screen down from Northwood's Whitetail, the HD screen. I'm gonna go over it again with the disc and then put the cultipacker on and pack it down, and that should be good. Hopefully I can get that done here fairly quickly. Okay, the first thing you do is put this 3-point hitch in the receiver here. This goes in the receiver, just like a tractor, but everything's smaller. Now that could possibly bend your receiver, so I have a support up there, and I put this from there to there to stabilize that. I'll show it to you once it's in. So that goes on like that from that brace, and it goes in there. And then the next thing you do is there's these implement bars. You put that on there, and then depending on what implement you need, you put the implement on that. So I'll get that set up. Okay, that's what it looks like with the bar on it. It has a little top link right here. And then just like you were putting a brush hog on a tractor, put this on. And then depending on whether you want the disc or the cultipacker, you just choose what you want on. I'm going to choose the disc first. I just put the disc on. They just slide on. This is like the easiest thing to put on. You just slide them on and tighten this bolt down. If you wanted to adjust the angle of the disc, you could do it with those nuts and bolts there. This is how I have it set up. Here's a look at the area I tilled. This is where the HD screen is going to go. It's about close to 20 feet wide, 15 to 20 feet, and it goes from that end of the property and encloses the entire food plot all the way down to that big tree right in the center of the screen. So that's what I'm gonna get tilled up right now. I just put my side-by-side in 4-wheel drive. I put it in low and going pretty fast. It won't take long. We'll get down here to the end and I'll show you about what it does. We'll have to go over it a few different times. This is down once and back. It does a pretty good job. You would, if I rototilled this, but I've done it before without. You would have to spray it with Roundup or some herbicide, or you would want to, and then it tills up pretty good. I'm not really trying to dig anything up. I just want to loosen the soil so I can get my seed in there and then run it back over and bury it. So just to see what it does, I mean, it gets it pretty good. Cut up some of that thatch I had in there and just roughed up the soil. Now I'm going to spread my seed, go over it again, and then pack it down. So this is what I'm planting. My area for the screen is 0.27 acres. This covers a ½ acre. This is the HD screen from Northwoods, and I mix it with the Egyptian wheat. And the reason is I like a little variety in it, and I have some wetter soil back there, and the Egyptian wheat I think does a little bit better in wet areas. So I'm gonna put a little less than half a bag of this in, maybe a quarter bag of this, put it in my spreader there and get to work. I got done spreading my seed and I was going back over it. I think I have my disc on backwards. It's been a few years since I've even used this, so let me switch those around. I don't think there should be that gap in the center. Okay, the discs look a lot better. I also straightened them out because it was giving me like mounds, so go over it with that and that should be a nice smooth finish. For the sake of time, I don't think I'm going to put the cultipacker on. For as wide as this is, I can use the side-by-side tires just as easily and it'll actually pack tighter. So I went over it after I seeded it. Now I'm just going to run it over real good with the tires. I'll show you how it looks at the end. I think I'll call it good. Looks pretty good. So this was one of the last things I have to do here until the fall. I don't know if I'm going to put brassicas in or not. I have all this clover you're looking at now, and I just sprayed all that with clethodim to get the grass out. Problem is, if you look here, I have all kinds of yellow sedge. That's actually not a grass, it's considered a broadleaf. So I ordered some Slay. I'm going to spray that, and I'm also going to combine it with Sedge Hammer, which is designed to kill sedge. So if I can get all this sedge out of here, this is just absolutely beautiful clover. I would say I probably have pretty much close to an acre of clover, which is going to be my main plot. And this screen will screen it all in, and then I'll have a little bit of the Milo at the other end there, so it should be good. So once again, thanks for joining me. I appreciate you watching. Let me know in the comments if you use a screen like this. I love it. I've been doing it for about 4 years. If you do use it, let me know what brand you use. I really like Northwoods Whitetail. John Comp, he gives good directions on how to plant it, on the herbicides you use. So if, ideally I would come in here with some Simazine as a pre-emergent and keep all the weeds down as the screen comes up. And I'll probably do that later on this week, but it's supposed to rain quite a bit, so we'll see what happens. But thanks again, I appreciate it. Have a good day and good luck on your food plots.